Now, at this wash house, there was a whole lot of shit that was going on that shouldn't have been going on. There were homeless people sleeping in the wash house because it was 24 hours a day. There were people in there doing copious amounts of street pharmaceuticals. There was child and adult uh, body solicitation going on in there. There's countless times that I had to have to call the police, and or my other store employee had to call the police. And what I figured out is at some point in time, the police that they were calling were that were strategically being called, not necessarily like, oh, you're calling 911, but that you're just sending a police officer who may be paid to patrol that area, if you get what I mean. So I'm confident 911 specifically didn't get any calls to that location. It was more of the police who were responsible for monitoring that area to make sure that sales and things of that nature were going as according to plan, if you get my drift. Anyway, I seen shit in there that my eyes will never be able to unsee. I was scarred from that job. Do you hear what I'm saying? And a lot of women who worked at that job were going missing. Women who were put in positions where they like were losing their house, they needed to find shelter, things like that. One of the attendees that worked there after I did slept in the storage room for 3 months at a time. Like, there were so many weird things going on. There was another store manager at another location, still in Norfolk, but in another location. This girl, I think her name was Nikki or something like that. She was getting paid under the table. She could take loans from the business. Like, they were, not they, but the junior was giving her loans. And I'm talking about $500, $600 loans. Right now, if we only making $14 an hour, you can't afford to give her no $500, $600 loan. She was able to leave when she wanted and do things as she wanted. They were just like, basically, it was some, again, body solicitation type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So when I came around and I'm in the situation of desperation, or so they thought they was going to get the same type of situation from me. They thought they was going to try to take me from Norfolk to North Carolina, where they could potentially traffic me. They were thinking that I was going to be doing some strange things for pieces of change just so I can try to keep my apartment. Baby, absolutely not. Not over here. Don't get me twisted. I'm going to do everything humanly possible to make sure that I stay on my feet. But I bet you ain't never going to see me on my fucking knees. Like, what the fuck you thought this was? Nah, buddy. So I became a problem. I became an outlier. They couldn't use me, so they had to get rid of me, if you get what I'm saying.